The defamation trial that is currently ongoing between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard has gained a lot of viewership. And even if you aren't actively watching it or following the case between the two high-profile celebrities and actors, it's likely that you've still run into some of its most memorable witnesses, experts, and moments somewhere on the internet. Welcome back to InformOverload. I'm your host, Amanda McKnight. You can find me over on Twitter at VampX13 or even over on Top 10 Nerd, where I frequently geek out. But today I'll be counting down the top 10 best viral moments from the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Let's get into it. Number 10. The muffins. I think we can all agree that Dr. Shannon Curry has been one of the favorites when it comes to the mix of experts and witnesses called to the stand. She was in essence brought on to do a psychiatric evaluation of Miss Heard for the case. At one point, while being questioned by Heard's counsel, Curry got sucked into a conversation bizarrely about muffins that she had brought to the office with her. The doctor seemed to be particularly anti anyone twisting her words throughout the line of questioning, respect, but things got to a whole nother level with Heard's lawyer, Elaine Bredhoff, deciding to fixate on muffins that Curry had shared with Heard. Ms. Bredhoff claimed the muffins were bought by Curry's husband for the two to enjoy, basically implying that Dr. Shannon Curry had shared details of the case with her husband, which is basically not allowed. However, Curry responded by clarifying that she usually brings muffins to the office but was running late, and so she had her husband get them for her. While he knew that a high-profile client was coming by, he did not know it was Miss Heard. It got to the point where the doctor had to ask Bredhoff to please stop talking about these muffins. It actually seemed to me like Heard's lawyers wanted to talk with Curry about anything but her actual report that she was basically there for. Number 9. Johnny Depp declares he was a victim. A powerful moment that I think went viral for that very reason that it was so powerful. At the end of his own testimony, Johnny Depp finished by clarifying what he said in a recording where he and Amber Heard were having an argument. Miss Heard is heard tauntingly saying, "Please tell people it was a fair fight and see what the judge and jury think. Tell the world, Johnny, I'm a victim too, and I know it's a fair fight, and see how many people believe or side with you." She speaks over top of Johnny, who was asked to clarify while on the stand what his response was in that conversation. He answered, "I said, yes, I am." And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you enjoy our videos here at IO, please do us a favor and click that subscribe button and maybe, write a little comment down below. Let us know if you're watching the trial, or if you're not, or what you think about it. Number 8. Johnny Depp calls hearsay on all the hearsay. Johnny Depp had a particularly tough time with Ben Rottenborn, one of Amber Heard's lawyers, who kept calling hearsay repeatedly during a line of questioning. Mr. Depp was attempting to explain what a second doctor had told him what he was, and well, that was as far as he actually got before Rottenborn objected, citing hearsay. Admittedly tired of all the objections, Depp actually responded to the hearsay claim saying, "I haven't finished my sentence. How do you know?" Savage. But also pretty accurate. I mean, he hadn't finished his sentence, so how did he know that what Johnny was about to say was even going to be hearsay? Because he was referring to what a doctor told him? Number 7. Drinking heavily. There are a few moments where Johnny Depp was grilled on his alcohol and substance use during the trial. At one point, one of Heard's lawyers asked, "You were drinking pretty heavily?" Which, while a statement is phrased as an assumed, agreeable question. In fact, a lot of the questions I feel like they ask aren't even like, "You were doing this?" They're more like, "You were doing this." It's like a statement. As opposed to just going with the flow and saying yes, or even refuting the claim and saying no, Johnny Depp instead chooses to point out how kind of wild that accusation is by responding with, "Were you there?" This wouldn't be the only time Johnny Depp would respond in such a way when he was asked about his consumption of alcohol and his use of substances, especially when it was implied that he was severely overindulging in either or potentially both. But it was one of the most memorable retorts in regards to that line of questioning. Number 6. Johnny Depp predicts hearsay. While discussing Amber Heard's 30th birthday dinner, Depp cracked a joke anticipating that a hearsay call was coming. He was explaining that Josh Drew, then partner of Amber Heard's once best friend Raquel Rocky Pennington, was a chef and asked Amber what she would like for him to cook in honor of her birthday. As commotion started up surrounding this statement, Johnny accurately predicted a hearsay call was coming. "That's hearsay, I guess," he said, and stopped his explanation. He later went on to joke, "I'm learning," and then began to rephrase his explanation explanation of the dinner and Drew's involvement, simply stating that Drew made Amber's favorite dinner for her birthday, which was Mexican. Number 5. Festival of Ice Cream. The amount of text, pictures, video footage, and audio recordings, as well as articles and reports that have been a part of this case is endless, and there's probably only going to be a lot more as it keeps going. But one picture and moment seems to have stood out from some of the rest. It's a picture that is circulating and that was shown in court of Johnny Depp asleep on a couch with his right hand in his pocket, holding ice cream, which is basically spilled all over him and the couch. When asked about the picture, he explained that he had fallen asleep due to substances he took, as well as from an exhausting 17-hour day at work. In addition, he claims the ice cream he's holding was Amber Heard's ice cream that she basically had asked him to hold, possibly because she saw that he was falling asleep and she thought it would make for a valuable picture of him. His memorable response specifically surrounding the ice cream and that the picture was that he was not participating in the festival of ice cream. Number 4. Hearsay all day. I want to stop talking about all the hearsay moments, but honestly they're too good, so I really can't because they're just endless. Never mind any specific moments, there are tons of viral compilation videos of the moments that we have discussed here and more leading up to those moments and even after. You can actually see the evolution of Johnny Depp learning when to expect hearsay as he pauses after statements as well to wait for them, and even reacts when it is or isn't called out, often a look of surprise on his face when it isn't called. He also continued to smirk throughout the questioning with his own counsel when the hearsay was called, and he'd anticipated it or simply was completely caught off guard. There was just so much hearsay going around that he couldn't seem to help but acknowledge it, though of course he was annoyed. He chose to actually embrace these moments with humor rather than getting angry, which I think says something about his sense of character too, at least as we see it in this trial. Number 3. Milani Cosmetics serves up facts. It's truly been a wild ride of a case thus far, with even Milani Cosmetics getting involved. During their opening statement, Heard's team, namely lawyer Elaine Bredhoft, stated and showcased a kit that Amber Heard allegedly kept with her at all times in her purse. The kit is a color correcting palette which Bredhoft claims was vital to Heard, as it was one Amber would become all too experienced with using to cover up her bruises and her cuts, injuries sustained due to mistreatment from Depp allegedly throughout the course of their relationship. There's just one problem that Milani Cosmetics, the company that makes the kit, found with this claim, and it's a pretty big one. The relationship took place from 2013 to 2016, yet the kit itself was apparently released in 2017 by Milani. Number 2. Ben Rottenborn objects to his own question. Although apparently this is a thing that lawyers can do, it is actually like a tactic that lawyers use, but it's pretty ridiculous for all of us average folks that are watching the trial. Another moment that left people flabbergasted, including the lawyer in question I think a bit, was when one of Amber Heard's lawyers questioned Ben King, Johnny Depp's house manager. During the line of questioning, there was a question that Rottenborn asked King that was basically shot down due to an objection from Depp's counsel. Rottenborn rephrases and then asks instead, "You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?" King begins to respond that Dr. Kipper had told King that Depp had sustained an injury on one of his fingers when Rottenborn objected to his own question, citing, you guessed it, hearsay. Confused, Judge Penny Azkara responds, "Wait, you asked the question." Number 1. Vape and drive. This has to be one of the iconic and, at this point of me recording this video, most recent moments, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere when it comes to how viral it is. During Alejandro Ramiro's testimony, which was done over Zoom, and where he seems to be answering questions from inside his vehicle, he ended up visibly seeming to lose his patience with Heard's counsel and their line of questioning. Despite the fact that they asked him about an incident where police were called, Romero testified that although he saw Johnny pacing on security footage after another resident brought up the event to him at the front desk, which he actually wasn't there for but came in sort of the day after, he had been surprised. Johnny Depp, he attested, was actually known from his experience to always be like a positive and like generally good-spirited person. He also was questioned about Amber Heard's appearance in regards to possible bruises or swelling on her face and whether she might be wearing makeup to hide injuries. Romero, however, attested that he would have noticed bruises and He didn't. Near the end, the counsel continued to ask question after question about different makeup products that Amber may have used to conceal injuries, and whether or not Romero remembered her wearing any of them or would perhaps even notice them. This was when Romero responded by vaping through his testimony and even beginning to drive in his vehicle while on the call, surprising pretty much everyone in court and being praised on the internet as a literal mood and an absolute legend. What do you think some of the best moments from this trial are? What are your thoughts about the case? Have you been following it at all? How do you feel about the fact that like so many of us are obsessed with this case? What do you think that says about society? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host Amanda McKnight, and this is IO. Till next time, take care of you, and remember to drink some water.